Theorists Theorizing Playoff Edition. Do not fucking blow the score in the chat. Listen, we don't want no spoilers.
No spoilers.
I'll fucking no. Listen, I will. I'll hop on a fucking plane to Boston.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're not actually from Boston. You're from somewhere else, pretending to be a Boston fan. I'll come to wherever that is and fucking Jersey ya.
The boys here fired up tonight.
We're not joking.
So we're not fucking around. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm too amped up.
Yeah.
And he's angry.
All right, it's fucking T minus how many hours? I can't fucking.
No, it's fucking brutal.
I got anxiety.
Now, I gotta tell you, I've never lived in a friendly neighborhood. Like I've told you guys before that, like I'm like, okay, my new house, like a lot of walkers, a lot of stoppers and shots. I'm starting to meet the neighbors and stuff. So yesterday I'm trying to find the property pins with the metal detector, and so I'm sitting out there, and this like the neighbor's kid comes out, and he comes out, and I met him once before.
Hold on, be honest. Were you dousing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Walking around with 2 coat hangers.
Knew it. Yeah.
Dan would be very upset with you.
How were they calibrated? I banged them together. Then, well, that's like okay. That's by saying that because like I used a metal detector out there, and when it beeps and finds metal, that's like me being like, oh yeah, well it beeped. Well, how was it calibrated? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't make these things. All I know is it beeped when it found metal. That's it.
That's true.
How is it calibrated? I don't know. It's calibrated to find metal, and it did. That's just like
did its job.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So then I'm sick of this calibration talk. All right? I'm fucking sick of it.
Fuck off.
So this kid comes out and yeah, whatever. I don't think he's going to ever listen. So Malcolm comes out and he goes, he's like 6 years old. He comes out and he goes, looks at me and he goes, we've met, right? And I go, yeah, I don't remember your name though. And he goes, Malcolm. And I go, he goes, what's your name? I go, Braden. He goes, oh yeah. So we are friends. And I'm like, yeah,
sure.
So then he goes, oh yeah, cool. And he goes, I've always wanted to use a metal detector my whole life. And I was like,
6 years.
I was like, all right, cool. And then he goes, wait, you have a kid? I go, yeah, I do. And he goes, how old is he? And I go, 14 months. And he goes, 14? Too old to play with me. And I go, no, 14 months. And he goes, 14? And his mom like peeks around the corner. She goes, that's 1 year and 2 months. And he goes, so he's 2. And I'm like, no, he's 1. And he goes, he's 1? You playing jokes on me? And I'm like, no, not playing jokes on you, Malcolm. And he goes, all right, well, how old is he? And I go, he's 1. And he goes, too little. And then he goes, wait, how old will I be when he's 6? And his mom's like, Malcolm, it's 6 plus 6. And he goes, just stands there. And he goes, oh, I'll be 12. And I go, yeah. He goes, well, how old will I be when he's 12? And then his mom's like, well, what's 12 plus 6? And he goes, 15. He's like, no. And he goes, 17? She's like, no. And he's like, 20. She goes, no, 6 plus 2. And he's like, 8. I'll be 8? And she's like, no, but plus 10. And he goes, 18. And then he goes, why am I doing math? And he just walks away. And I was like, this kid is unbelievable.
That kid probably hates you now.
I walk in the backyard and he goes, is that a hot tub? And I go, yeah, it is. He goes, can I look in it? And I go, sure, man. He lifts the lid and he goes, oh, I would love to just dip my finger in. I go, you go right ahead. And he just dips his finger in. He goes, oh, isn't that nice? I would love to go in it.
You're like,
and I'm like,
and that's where we draw the line around here.
So I was like, yeah, they're pretty nice. And he goes, yeah, I would love it.
You know what you're going to start getting? You're going to start getting a little knock at the studio door.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he was.
Hello?
Jamie has a video of me. I was walking doing yard stuff, and this kid is like glued to me, just walking, asking me every question known to man. Right? He's like, you should check right here for metal. And so I like put the thing there. It doesn't beep. I'm like, no metal. He goes, can't get them all. And I'm like, okay, this kid is something else.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. Jamie's like laughing. I come in. I'm like, this kid is going to be the death of me. It's like, I'm like looking outside. I can just see him like peeking around, like looking to see if we're coming outside.
You finally got a friend in Campbell River.
Yeah.
It's a fucking win.
No, little Malcolm.
Yeah.
And he goes, I got a brother. I don't like him very much. And I go, yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
You know that feeling?
Yeah, he goes, he doesn't let me hang out with him. I went, why? He goes, he says he's too old. And he goes, you let me hang out with you though. And you're way older. And I'm like,
Choke slam.
Yes. Like literally, the questions I was receiving: why'd you lose your hair? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm old, man. You're probably gonna lose your hair too. And he goes, not me, not like you. And I go, okay. Then I was getting annoyed because he's just like asked a question. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you say the same thing all the time. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, yeah, just yeah. That's it. That's all you say. And I'm like, okay, kid.
All right,
Holy, it's like an hour of chatting with this kid. I was like, oh,
where's this kid's fucking parents?
Mowing the lawn next door. I was like, fucking cut himself. He's like, you got a Band-Aid in your house? I was like, do you have Band-Aids in your house? He goes, yeah, but we're right by your house. I'm like, you want in. I know you
What's
want
in here?
You're looking for snacks. You're looking for games.
What's in your fridge?
Yeah, Braden doesn't like sharing his games, so.
What's in your fridge?
No, filthy
You got a cat?
Yeah.
You got a dog?
Oh yeah. He's like, is that a wiener dog? Ugh. I've always wanted to hold a. I've always wanted to hold a wiener dog. I see where this is going, kid. You got to try some new moves. You're not gonna bait me in with that one every time. So that's my neighborhood.
You're in
now.
for it.
Yeah,
just starting.
Did they just move in or something? Like,
no, they're been there for like 10 years. So
okay.
I started pegging out the fence line. I was like, oh
Nice.
God, I gotta make sure this thing's not climbable.
Big 8-foot fence,
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah, you got to keep Malcolm
Can't see
out.
over.
He's a little maniac. But we're talking about the fucking New Mill green blob.
The green blob.
Gaseous blob of doom.
Gaseous blob. When Dan leaves, we pull out the A tier fucking UFO sighting.
Yeah, we save this stuff.
Yeah, we saved it because we're like, this is too much for Dan. Too much
good.
going on.
Too much death. Oh my God, we should do something like death and destruction.
I know that's kind of
What the fuck were we thinking?
We still got next week.
We panicked. We
I think we
panicked.
got two more
It was
weeks.
fucked up. It's
Listen,
a hectic time.
It is a hectic time, and like this Monday is the start of back to normal for me. Like,
Is it?
Yeah, I finally done anything, finished services,
I'm
all
close.
the funerals I had to go to. Just now, I'm like, oh, I have nothing. There's my schedule is free and clear into the foreseeable future. So I'm like, thanks God. The only thing, obviously, WrestleMania next year at Vegas. That's the only thing.
Seeds been planted.
Vegas.
Yeah, I'm just planted seeds.
It was instantly swatted back,
Yeah, I'm gonna see if they
dug
grow.
out of the ground and launched. You want
just
what?
throwing seeds.
You want to
I'm
do
like
what?
Johnny Appleseed.
We got a podcast business trip to Las Vegas. What's in Las Vegas for podcasting?
WrestleMania.
Yeah, think of how good that story was last time. That's fucking. Come on.
Yeah.
It's content. All right.
Right?
It's content.
That's what it is.
Anyways, we're heading to New Mill, Cornwall, United Kingdom, which I think it's always funny when you search a place you don't know, and then it proceeds to describe the place by saying it's 3 kilometers north of Penzance, Cornwall, United Kingdom. Another place that no one knows where it is.
Listen.
And then you look up that place and it's like, oh yeah, it's just east of New Mill. You're like,
okay.
I mean, the
You're really
best
getting
way
the lay
to
of the
summarize
land
these
here.
places, though, it's the Shire.
Yeah, that's all. When I
Literally
think
fucking
about the
Shire.
United Kingdom, I just think of Shire.
It's the Shire.
Moors.
Yeah.
Shire.
Yeah.
yeah,
Things made of stone.
yeah.
So
Well, this
circles,
is-
churches.
I mean, I guess New Mill is they have some ancient sites around, like burial mounds, standing stones,
Standing stones are like mini
Stonehenge.
Really.
Copycats.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're like, what if we have a miniature version? That'll bring the tourists in.
This is where they started, and they slowly got better.
Yeah,
It's hobbits. Hobbits can only make small fucking things.
like this kind of area in the world's where Worcestershire sauce was made. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm just taking a stab at the dark here. 100%.
High probability, I believe.
High probability.
I'd go along with that.
Yeah.
Nowhere else would come up with a name like that for a sauce except for the United
Worcestershire
Kingdom.
sauce.
Worcestershire.
There's a half.
Worcestershire sauce.
There's like an ancient site, Shysoster, which is just like a half kilometer away from New Mill. So there's a lot of interesting
It's a hub.
history.
There's
parallel
historical
hub.
monuments
Yeah,
here.
yeah, a lot
Got
of
some megaliths.
history and stuff. And it is probably wins the award for most lackluster UFO of all time.
What are you talking about?
Is it a UFO or is it
don't
some type
know.
of supernatural blob?
Okay, so this event as we discussed, takes place in Newmill, the United Kingdom.
Where nothing of interest happens, including
except for this,
including the UFO sighting that happened. They're like, look what happened to our town, our little town. Everyone's like, yeah, okay.
I don't even think everybody in the town bought in.
Probably
it made the newspaper though.
Well, I mean, in small town, it doesn't take much to make the paper.
All right, so 1977, around 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday, September 17th, Carolyn Bond. James Bond was heading to the front of her house, getting ready to fire up her moped for an evening fucking scoot around the moor or whatever the hell you
narrow
call it.
Cobblestone roads of.
She approached the moped, and she had this weird, eerie feeling that her husband was kind of just like walking behind her. She just felt a presence behind her. And when she turned around, she realized it wasn't Peter. In fact, it wasn't a person at all. What Caroline saw that was merely 4 meters in front of her was floating in the air. It was some sort of strange green haze, and it was flashing between green and silver, and had some sort of red in it, and it looked like a gas.
Yeah, like it's glowing at in the dark, just like a glowing cloud.
What can only be described as a blob.
Yeah,
of gas.
Boy, it was weird because it was like flashing metallic, which did kind of like make me think of like
seen some UFOs that change color like that.
Yeah, and like she couldn't see through it, right? It was just like this thick, hazy, whatever, gaseous looking object, but it did have something protruding from the bottom of it, right? Which kind of looked like a fin. Okay. Which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And it was hovering above the ground. And obviously, like, when you think about that, like, I've never really... Have you heard of a description like that? Like...
No.
Right? Like, no, I'm wondering if this haze, like, you think maybe it's some type of, like, cloaking device?
Well...
Or, like, you know?
Okay, you know, I'm trying to think of the movie, because I was thinking about this when... when I was reading this of the flashing, because it kind of describes like it sparkles and it like flashes red and it's like a metallic flash, and it's like that's kind of like what some sort of like predator like cuttlefish and stuff do, like they'll flash like warning flashes to people, you know what I mean? So then I was like, you know, is this maybe some sort of fucking interdimensional creature, because like it doesn't really seem like a fucking it doesn't really seem like a, you know, like, it's like a standard UFO.
It's like an octopus. It's inking.
Yeah, right? Because it's like, it's solid.
It's ferreting. It's ferreting out green gas to protect itself.
But it's like,
I'm pretty sure that's what you, if your life was in immediate danger, I'm pretty sure you'd fart.
Well, I do something.
Yeah.
Hands up, release all bow.
Yeah, right? Like just everything empty out.
It's like that video of that shoplifter. You ever see that shoplifter who gets caught by the security and they're wrestling him and he gets an arm free and just puts his hands down his pants, comes out, he's got a poopy hand, and everyone leaves him alone and he runs out.
You know what? It's true. If you run into like some type of mugger on the street, he's trying to steal your wallet, take off your pants, take a shit on the ground. He's gonna leave.
Give him the old stink finger.
And just take a shit on the ground and be like, you don't want any part of this.
Yeah, give him a quick half Horton.
Yeah, there you go. Or just shit your pants. Don't even bother pulling them down.
Well, I think you gotta prove at this point, like, because like if it's just, you know what I mean? Because like, I think you gotta. It's the threat display you gotta show, right? In that, in those, like,
I mean, you could technically use that as a weapon. Like that's a projectiles, right?
Yeah,
like just
biological. Yeah,
boom, mud pies.
That's a bio weapon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe
you don't know what I got.
Maybe they have an open cut. You get a little poop in there.
Oh yeah, God, that's awful.
Blood poisoning, whole shebang.
And then it's smart, because then you go to the hospital. You're like, anyone coming in with an infection, big poop infection.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, this guy, arrest that man, officer.
Who's that guy wearing the fucking sweater with black and white stripes on it and little toque? Who's got bilateral pink eye? It's that guy. That's him. That's the man you're looking for.
Yeah. We go to all pharmacies and we need all prescriptions of conjunctivitis that have gone out.
So at this
narrow
point,
down the subject.
This gaseous craft is only 2 meters away from Caroline, where she comes up with the idea to start screaming for her husband, right? Or partner, whatever it is. Which makes sense, yeah. Oi!
Oi,
Pia!
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 What the fuck you want? What the fuck you on about?
Yeah. So Peter comes running out, witnesses said craft, and then, you know, it's sitting there for so long that Peter's like, well, you know what? Maybe it just looks a little fucking hazy to me because I got shitty eyes. I'm going to go back inside and get my fucking specs. He runs back inside, comes back with his spectacles.
Yeah. He does like the old eye rub.
Yeah.
Nope.
Puts on the glasses. Whoa. He's like, oh, I see it.
Oi.
It is a blob. I love if both of them need glasses, and that's why the description is just they just can't fucking see shit. These two, they just got the worst like stigmatisms.
It was just a balloon, but it was so blurry.
Fucking mylar balloon. Oh.
That's funny. Yeah. So they both get their eyes on this, and it's like this thing's been hovering around them for so long that they're even able to like recruit two people. I think they were at like a.
There was like a little phone kiosk outside,
like
at the front of their house, like on the street. And they're, hey, you guys come take a quick look at this.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So yeah, those people come and fucking get a chance to look at this thing too, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So you get
Right?
four.
So
You
that's
get
four.
4 people that get eyes on this, like, weird blob, like for floating blob.
And that's not so apparently too, like these people, the 2 people that came and witness died on it. It's Bill and Sally Beard.
Yeah,
real
the
names.
Beards. Bill Beard.
Yeah, the Beards.
Yeah.
Bill Beard.
Everyone's name in this is fucking epic. You got Peter Bolton, Caroline Bond, the Beards,
Bolton?
Bill Beard. Yeah, Peter Bolton.
Cousin
Yeah.
of Michael, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. Just the hairs flowing.
Sax man. Fucking sexy bastard, that guy. So yeah, so you got them, and then I guess the person that the Beards are fucking, they're from out of town, from Birmingham or whatever the hell. I'm sure
Another
I'm saying
well-known town just down
Yeah.
the road, you know. Out for a
so
quick
the lady that
weekend
they were
vacation.
selling with, Mrs. Gibbons, she came out and had a little fucking peep at it too. And then here's another George Stone.
Oh yeah, like this.
Like, come on.
I like
Come
when I read through this, I'm like,
Do you make these
are
up?
all these names made up? This town has the best names. Everyone who lives here.
Okay, listen. This is so we got George Stone, another known witness, but then there's Anthony Latte.
No, that's a bad name.
That's
That's
real.
the worst of the bunch.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
sorry.
Who works as a civil servant nearby in Crow Laws, saw a saucer-shaped object while he was driving on the Red Ruth bypass road. It showed up on the side of his car at about the height of his roof. The top part of it was glowing white. The bottom of it had a part yellowish color. He sped up. The saucer did too, staying alongside him until it faded and he couldn't see it anymore. So, but that description's it's like different. It's not. There's no gas. There's no haze.
It's just interesting that it happens the same night. So that makes you think that are they together? Is this blob thing something that might like a probe or something comes? Because like at one point when you listen to the account of Peter Bolton and Bond, like this thing is like it's not moving fast. Like it's almost
It's floating.
It's like floating at a walking
it's
pace,
hovering.
and it like floats over to their barn, and then like it like kind of like strafes down the cobblestones, like almost like looking at the like barn windows and stuff, and then gets to a certain point and it's just like turns and then like goes back along the barn, and then just like hovers off. And as it hovers off like over the field, it just slowly starts rising and rising and rising till it rises above the trees and then out of sight. But they were like, it took that weird like hard right along the barn, looked like they thought it was like looking and examining the barn and the cobblestones, and then turns and then just slowly like leaves, like if it was just looking at stuff. Like it would be that like they draw a description and it would be an interesting path, because if you were like, some of the people are like, oh, maybe it is some sort of balloon or something. I'm like, well, I've never seen a balloon like that, but like they drew a picture of what the route it took, and you can see like
ye old post office.
Yeah. But like it's kind of interesting that like it does that one, because if it just floated in a straight line, you'd be like, yeah, okay, weird. But like this takes like a hard, it looks a hard right, and then just turns and heads back the other way and starts to gain elevation.
Are those fallen stones, are those like actual like megalithic stones from the ancient Druidic culture?
No, it sounds like they're just cobblestones that have all come apart, and
the building's just slowly falling apart.
Yeah, like because there's a ruined building right beside that's all like dilapidated and shit's falling off everywhere.
Like, doesn't that? It's funny because when you think of like the UK, right? Especially like this area, and us being so naive, because like I don't have any of you guys been there?
Nope.
Right? So I think about that, and it's like you have this fallen building. So obviously it's like a little bit moss covered stone, and it looks like it's like medieval, and it's just kind of like crumbling and shit. And like if you had that description in like here in Canada or the US, you'd be like, oh, it's like ghetto. But there it's like, oh, it's magical. It's like some nice artifacts. Fucking it's remarkable.
Magical properties.
Yeah. But being there, you're probably like, it's just some shitty broken down fucking house behind mine.
Yeah.
It's fallen stones.
And it's probably like having you buy like an old acreage and you got like an old beat down barn here.
To be fair though, like the fallen stones that are around all the dilapidated houses and stuff like that live around here are usually in Rutland, and the stones are crack.
Yeah. Cracks.
So, like that's the difference.
It's like, and the thing is for me, I'm like, because I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a balloon. They saw it at night, and I saw stuff like that. But I'm like, well, if this thing, the way it floats off, like it would have started elevating right away. Like this took some time. Like they were able to go and pull other people. Why they didn't approach it closer is always kind of like questioned me of like, what, like I
why
feel
did no one try and put their hand through it?
Yeah, like go up to it. Maybe it was so shocking that you're kind of worried. I could see that. But then when it like leaves the barn side and goes like just starts elevating slowly over the field till it's above the treetops and disappears, I'm like, if it's some sort of balloon, you would have rapid ascent, like from the moment they see it, not this like controlled slow descent.
Well, I mean, you could counterweight a balloon, and so it only floats at a certain height, but like not in a predictable pattern, just wherever the wind goes. Yeah. So it wasn't the only, like the following night, more great names, Mr. Chisel or Chiswell,
great name,
and Mr. Barry also seen a similar object. So it wasn't just one night. So
like
multiple witnesses over multiple nights, and also multiple styles of this or something. There's like seemed like a mothership, and then these little drone, smaller ones.
These little blobs.
Yeah.
And I guess Caroline Bond's still alive because she on one of the like if you go and look at the New Mill like posts and various ones, she comments on one of the articles. She's just like, it's like the main pinned comment is Caroline Bond. She's like, it's nice to read about my UFO case all these years later. And I'm like, oh,
that's crazy.
She's still alive. Like, and reach out. It's just, it's weird in the sense that like, this is, when have we ever been like, there's just a blob, like someone's like, that's the description, blob. It's
blob.
Weird fuzzy blob that was shining light.
But another interesting thing with this too is the fact it's like, so now we've got multiple witnesses. We've got this bizarre appearing potential craft being whatever the fuck it is, but we also have some physical findings as well, which is super interesting, right? Because a few days later, after witnessing this strange phenomenon, Caroline and Peter both came acutely ill. First Peter and then Caroline, but Peter had to get himself into the hospital right away.
Peter was like fucking legit, like on his deathbed for a while, like ER, like.
Well, I started with muscle aches from head to toe, and then he started getting migraine, followed by nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach,
diarrhea.
Perfect. And then it was kind of funny. So when Caroline came in, they initially started like querying maybe appendicitis. So they went as far as giving her a fucking appendectomy they pulled out her appendix and was like, "Oh, this is a perfectly healthy
you look at
appendix."
that?
It was great.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
This is a model. She's like, oh,
Could you imagine?
no.
Just start fucking taking organs out. Like, it's probably this. Let's try it. Oh,
Yeah.
no, just kidding. It's good.
No, it's fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's good
Nothing
old
wrong.
1970s healthcare.
Actually,
Yeah.
we think there's something might be wrong with your kidney as well. So we'll go ahead and take that out.
Take one. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna take one. You can live.
Portion of
with
your
the other
liver. It'll grow back. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Grow
We're
back,
just to check.
one. Yeah.
While we're in there, we'll clean you out a little bit.
Yeah. Fuck. Wakes up in a fucking bathtub full of ice.
Yeah.
Be like, it turns out you're okay.
Yeah, you're totally fine.
Here's your discharge papers. Fuck off.
But like,
So after that whole, it's pretty like that's significant, right? Like both being hospitalized, like super Cash Landrum vibes. Remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Like
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
heard of this before, whether it's
Like almost like radiation poisoning.
like radiation poison, like nuclear, the effects of like dealing with like nuclear waste, anything like that. It's going to give you similar symptoms like this.
the only odd thing is they didn't have any exterior symptoms like their skin,
Like
any
skin,
skin
yeah.
conditions or anything of radiation poisoning or being exposed to radiation, but all of their other symptoms like line up. And there was like,
Yeah.
so
Well,
that
wouldn't-
was kind of,
Wouldn't skin, that'd be like radiation burns. That's even way worse. Like you'd have to be
Yeah.
close
That
to
would
like
be
actual
like
radioactive.
exposure.
Yeah,
And,
but just like you can get because when you go to like people go to Chernobyl and you can go in certain zones, you take the iodine pills and there's a detector and you'll get sick if you go too far off the trail. You'll get
Why
sick
even-
like this.
why
And people go there. You can
Why?
go observe
Why?
the wild reclaimed
watch the
Chernobyl.
three-eyed fish and shit? Like, no
yeah,
thanks.
I don't know. It's like there's some things where I'm like,
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah, I don't
Take your
really
word
need
for
to. Yeah, I don't need to go and say like check that one off the bucket list. Like explored radioactive nuclear.
And survived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Check. All right, what's next?
So they get released from hospital and they start thinking like, this is fucking bizarre, right? They've got a group of witnesses, whatever. Everybody kind of comes together and they reach out to this UFO investigator, Terry Cox. Not awesome name.
fucking great
Not a great
name.
fucking name,
Yeah,
right? He was the Bodmin representative of the UFOIN, and he decided to interview the couple shortly after these events had taken place. Caroline Bond and Peter Bolton were a young couple who own and are working on fixing ye old post office located near the road from Penzance to Treen on the north coast of Cornwall, said Terry Cox. He claimed the couple seemed thoughtful when they were talking about what happened, and it seemed clear that they were well educated and intelligent.
I mean,
To be fair, everybody who speaks in a posh sounding English accent comes across intelligent,
yeah, it's true.
right?
The
That could be
one thing I was
super
asking
dumb,
is like,
but-
were they, because they were like renovating the old post office? I was like, were they just gonna all of a sudden be like, they're like, we're the mailmen now? Like, is that why they were, or were they gonna like?
I thought you were gonna allude to like fucking some type of like poisoning from old materials or asbestos or
Yeah.
something. Oh no! Look at me. We
Yeah,
are the postman now.
we deliver the mail now.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's what I was like. I couldn't figure out if they were like living it. Like, were they gonna live in the old post office? Like, that's what I was like, could you just roll up in the 70s and be like, oh, the post office is torn down? Well, guess what?
We're the
We're
post
moving
now.
in and we are the post office now.
Probably getting the post office racket.
Yeah.
It's kind of what the mob used to do, right?
Just collecting all that Christmas card money.
Oh yeah, buddy. Do you want to go through some dialogue of the interview or just?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's super riveting. It's like
It's par for the course. Let's hear it. What Cox have to say in the interview?
So after they go through the initial sighting, which we kind of bastardized earlier, so we won't go through that again. Terry then asked, "I understand you saw something like a pull or a fin projected from it." Caroline responds, "I cannot really say. It seemed to have something below it, but I could not see clearly what it was. It seemed as if it was on top of another thing, quite narrow, I think." Terry, you say it was a green haze. You think it was like a vapor? No, it was not vapor. It seemed quite solid. You could not see through it when it moved in front of the barn. In fact, it blotted out the stones. I could not hear any noise at all. That's interesting. It's kind of like maybe like flubber, but flubber's see-through, right?
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing too is she says, I could not see through it when it moved.
Yeah,
so it
that's
stopped and it would kind of like
I'm
maybe
telling you, this is
absorb.
like some type of fucking weird camouflage cloaking.
Yeah.
it's just an alien with like a Harry Potter cloak, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah, just riding.
Oh, he's got a Horcrux.
Yeah.
Just walking,
no.
walking
Is it
around like
Horcrux?
covering his
Yeah, that's
face.
No, I don't think the
No,
cloak
it's
is an
the
Horcrux.
Deathly Hallow or whatever.
Yeah.
What's it? Fuck, it's
The invisibility, the Elder Wand,
Elder Wand, and the
Philosopher's Stone or whatever.
Yeah, but
Stone.
what are they called? Are they
The Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, they are the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's got one of those. Well, it's like maybe it's like floating, like maybe what it's sitting on, like that the mist or blob or whatever is like camouflage, like we said, like to kind of blur out what you're looking at, and maybe this thing. Because we have the description of the interesting thing is we have description of like a pole or maybe a fin from anyone but people who saw it. They were like, I don't really know. It just looks like it was on top of another thing. So maybe this is like riding some sort of like floating like scooter, or some sort of floating seat.
Floating scooter.
Right? You know what I mean? And it's just floating around, sitting on this, perched on this thing with this like blob.
So continuing with the Harry Potter,
camouflage.
it's on a broom.
Yeah,
With a cloak. It's an alien.
Buddy,
The cloak
it's
gives
the
off a
UK.
green glow.
yeah.
It's the UK.
This
Somebody's from
was the
Slytherin.
inspiration for Harry Potter right from the start.
It's
That's
green.
where Rowling got it from.
Why? Like maybe it's a fucking cryptid.
Yeah, I mean, it's so
Right, like-
it's so unusual for UFO sightings go that I would be more inclined to say this is something that would maybe some sort of creature or something
Creature.
rather than a
Creature.
UFO, because I'm like, it doesn't like this is not a. It's
Not
such
really
a weird.
flying. It's just
Yeah.
Floating.
Floating.
Hovering.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it does like the shimmer and stuff. Like it almost is like a threat display. That's how I kind of read it and look like it's like flashing these lights at the people, like it's like warning, like don't fuck with me.
It's probably some like old evil escaped from one of these ancient fucking graves.
the old
Probably
evil,
underneath
like-
the ye old post office. There was something that they shouldn't have disturbed.
yeah,
And as they're
Dude.
fixing it, they lifted one stone and just kind of like,
Ye old evil postman.
the spirit of the old postman,
Yeah.
Pat.
Oh man. And his black cat.
Maybe it's like other than that, it's a fucking weird one because you're like the descriptions of it are so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a blob. It's a green
Ooh, have
blob.
you seen the artist's rendition of it?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull it. Let me pull it up here. Literally, it looks just a weird splotch.
Buddy, that right there is a de-shelled fucking pistachio.
it's got a little hint of red on the bottom,
Yeah,
green
like-
top.
Yeah.
It looks like they have like it's like black and white, and then someone like put some type of IR camera on it, and like that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Close. Anyways, let's take a short beer break. We'll come back with a couple theories, what we think it is, and we'll wrap this one up. We'll be
De-shelled pistachio. I
Right
gave you
back.
one. That's it.
We're back.
All right, we said it was a pistachio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I'm pretty fucking sold on pistachio UFO.
I mean, other theories would be, some people say they give it more of a natural explanation, some type of ball lightning, some rare
I fucking
meteorological event or something.
fucking ball lightning. I hear that fucking shit way too much.
No one really. There's very few videos of like ball lightning. There's
Yeah,
like,
it's so rare.
there's a handful, and
fucking-
some people claim they're fake. So like, is there even ball lightning? Is that even?
Yeah,
a
that's
real
the thing.
fucking
It's just ball lightning is in the same category for me as cow tipping. Fake.
Cow tipping's fake?
Yeah, 100%
You can't
fake.
tip a cow.
You can't tip a cow. There's not one video online of people tipping a cow. They're natural prey. No, I'm telling you, anyone who says they've cow tipped is a liar.
Like,
And
how are
they're
you gonna
lying.
tip a? I've always thought, yeah, like, was a cow weigh like
impossible.
fucking 2,000 pounds? You can tip it over?
Dude, they're natural prey. You think you clunky ass fucking Homo sapien is gonna sneak up on a cow? It knows you're coming.
For sure. What are you,
I'm sure I saw Tommy Boy do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a movie.
sure.
That's a movie.
So what, you sneak up behind the cow and you just like, one person like crouches behind their knees, and another person
Yeah. And then you
pushes
get
them over, and then you get crushed by the cow.
You gotta sacrifice one buddy to cow tip. There's no fucking way, dude. There's no way. I've never seen. There's not one video, not a single video online of people tipping the cows.
Casefile 322, The Legend of Cow Tipping.
Yeah, it's
We're gonna
it's
get
all
to the
make
bottom of
believe.
it.
Might
Right.
have been more interesting than this one.
But
So, natural explanation, maybe some type of weird atmospheric event, perhaps. What about the sickness, though? This food poisoning? Like, where does the sickness come from? Other people say like some type of military test, some weird like early drone or something.
well, I can see that. But that's real early days for having a drone
and
with
a
camouflage.
drone that's like just a few feet off the ground
yeah.
at some random obscure village.
Well, I think that's where you'd want to test these things, but
Yeah,
like
but like on the ground.
yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like
The other
it's-
one where they
Why-
say they've seen the more of a craft style.
Sure.
perhaps.
Why would you? But like, it's a small town, yeah. But like, with all the open space in the world, why are you even going near a fucking town?
Had something to do with the old post office, man. Had to.
Yeah, I agree. I think no, Zell, you're on the but like every time I think of anything fucking paranormal, green haze,
Yeah, someone rubbed a lamp is what happened,
green haze,
right?
Something disturbed, something you shouldn't.
Ye old post genie.
There's a reason all these ancient cultures went extinct. They did something. They brought something onto the world they shouldn't have, and that's why they all vanished. So their stone monuments and structures.
Yeah, I mean this one is as far like I mean it's so fucking stupid. They're like I saw a blob, and then people are like it's an alien. I was like when you read that, never did I once if it didn't say UFO in all the articles would go like yeah that's a spaceship.
Well, but I feel like it's being cloaked by something.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's
yeah,
not
Or
big
it's some
enough.
type of fucking camouflage. What did you say, sorry?
It's not big enough.
What's not big enough?
This blob.
How do you know?
Well, this got some little aliens, unless it's a probe,
Yeah.
like it's some sort of probe.
Fucking seen Men in Black, the aliens in the fucking cats
Yeah,
in the head.
Galaxies on Orion's belt.
Yeah, it's true.
I
so.
mean, some people say this was a prank, but given
Fuck,
given the
how?
consistency and seriousness of the witnesses, they're like, can't be a prank. But
How
exactly,
do you?
what's the prank? Yeah,
Yeah,
someone has like a fog lamp with like a green filter, and they're shining it on the ground.
as they're walking around,
It's
perfectly.
like a spotlight. Someone's on top of the old post office, shining it down with a fucking filter, green light, and a spotlight.
I just don't know
They're
how. Like,
following around like a cat and a laser pointer.
it's not, but that's not one where I'm like, I could in my head be like, okay, well, how do you recreate what they are describing? Prank style, like that's the tough one for me. I'm like,
Yeah, the prank doesn't hold up very well.
it doesn't hold water. It's like, oh, got him.
It's not like you gotta take credit for it too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no one jumps in as like, hey, this was us. It was these wacky kids in New Mill,
A town of like how many people? It's probably a tiny town, maybe 1,000
tiny
people,
village.
maybe less.
I think is
don't
it a
know.
village?
Village? I feel like all of England's just a village.
Yeah.
And then there's London,
yeah.
and then villages. That's all. That's in my mind. That's what I picture.
Yeah,
Agreed. The Shire. There's city covered, surrounded by the Shire.
Shire.
yeah. It's a small. It says small settlement. So
Yeah,
There you go.
Shire.
I mean, so
Yeah.
the extraterrestrial option is really the only one that's really gained traction online because the lack of man-made explanation and the sickness and the weird glowing haze, the blob. And it does draw parallels with other cases where people did get sick from an interaction with UFO.
yeah,
It's just a weird,
That's
it's a
weird.
weird shape. It's very small. The craft itself is unlike anything we've talked about.
yeah.
There's no,
Which
it didn't hover above the car. It didn't chase you down the road. It didn't do any of this. It's just a blob floating around some obscure town in nowhere, UK.
it's weird.
Yeah, and then never seen again from anyone. Zero descriptions of
Well,
this
because
thing.
they figured out their cloaking technology.
Yeah,
This is a rudimentary version. This is the 1.0.
yeah. I mean,
It did gain like the Cornishman was like a bigger paper in the area. They covered the story extensively after it kind of gained like widespread coverage throughout England. So people became super interested in it, and it became like it's like a cult phenomenon of this weird.
Do they have
Blob.
a yearly blob party now?
I hope so.
The New Mill Blob Party every year, every September, or when did it happen? I don't remember. September 17th. Is that what? Am I right on that?
It was. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, September 17th, the New Mill Blob Party. We'll see you there.
See you there. Pod trip.
The
New
world
Mill.
descends on the tiny, quaint village of New Mill, UK, just south of Worcestershire, for an EDM party you wouldn't believe. That's out of this world.
You'll all be seeing green blobs. I don't know, it's an ongoing mystery, and that was never explained.
Yeah.
There's really no. That's what it's the green blob.
Yeah,
It's the green blob.
I have
Some
no
people got
nothing-
sick.
Beware of the blob.
Yeah, if you see a blob, let us know. I have no fucking idea.
I've
It's
seen a
just
few
the
blobs
weirdest
in my
one.
day.
Yeah, I've seen it. Usually it comes from like a head injury. Like, looking at the sun without your obsidian glass. Getting floaters. That's about it. No, it's a fucking as far
Ongoing
as-
weird mystery.
Yeah. It's a
Riveting stuff, you know.
riveting stuff. Good pick, Andrew.
Oh yeah, thank you.
If you're from New Mill, if you're one of our many listeners from the New Mill area, and you
Have you seen a blob?
have you seen the blob? Do you
Yeah.
have history? Do you have a family tradition? You talk about the blob every year.
They dress up as the blob.
Dress up as a blob.
Yeah.
The whole town dresses up as a green blob.
They got
On
a blob
Halloween.
statue.
I
Right
heard
in
the
the middle.
blob actually delivers like candy to the door every September.
And everyone
Reverse.
gets-
It's like
everyone gets
reverse
sick
Halloween.
when they eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you put your little wooden shoes out, and they fill your little wooden shoes with candy. And then that's
Don't forget, the blob will come and drop your iodine pills. Yeah, it's I mean, fucking.
It's a
whatever.
blob.
Yeah, it's a blob.
Green blob. If you want more riveting content like this,
Yeah.
you got to go to Patreon. You got to go to alientheorist.com. You got to hit the support tab. You got to help us get to the bottom of the blobs and other surrounding cases from this area.
And just so all of you listening who've been watching live, this wasn't even live, you motherfuckers. This was pre-recorded because we knew you were gonna try to fucking ruin the Canucks score. Suck my ass.
we got you.
Huh, you fucking loser Bruins fans. Suck it. You're probably sitting there watching us, trying to chirp us in the chat. It's not even, you wasted your time this whole time. Ooh, I hope
We're
your
always
team
one step
loses.
ahead.
Yeah, just 8 steps ahead. While you're playing chess, we're playing fucking life, motherfucker.
Get with it. Anyways, this week's newest supporters, we got TJ Webb and George Webb. Brothers?
Nice.
Perhaps. Both signing
it.
up. Appreciate it. Gator Wolf. Peyton Harris.
Let's go.
Sin Eater Sean.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. He signed up
go.
free. You don't count. Delete
Yeah.
Sin Eater Sean.
Yeah, suck it.
And that's it for this week. Thank you very much for supporting the show.
And as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies.
Sometimes you swing and a miss, you know.
It's
rare. It's rare for the show, but sometimes you swing and a miss.
It's so funny, some funny stuff there. But
I think we punched up a bit.
Shitty
We
Blob.
do our best.
Did I tell you there's someone who was selling a haunted doll on Marketplace? Did I show you guys the picture?
Did you buy it?
Did you buy it?
I'm going to. So at first, this haunted doll. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. So this haunted doll was it was $100.
Ooh.
And the
You
ad
talk 'em
said
down, obviously.
the ad said definitely not haunted. And I messaged them and I was like, "Is this doll haunted?" And she's like, "LOL, no." I said, "Okay, well, I'm not paying $100 for it then." I was like, "I'll give you maybe 30." And she's like, "Sorry, I got to stick to my guns." And I said, "Yeah, okay." And then she messaged me back. She's like, "I'll take 80. Will you pay me 80 right now?" And I was like, "You're sounding pretty desperate for someone who doesn't have a haunted doll."
Yeah.
Right. And then I said, "No, I can't. I'm not going to spend that kind of money." Then she messaged me. This is like 3 weeks ago. Then she messaged me yesterday. She goes, "Listen, I'll take 30. Come get this thing." And I said, "Now you've got me concerned that this is in fact a haunted doll. I'll give you 20. She goes, "Done." So look at this fucking look at this thing.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, that's
Paper mache face doll. That is disgusting.
Isn't that terrifying? It says, "A little strange doll for your curiosity cabinet or collection. Faces paper clay painted with acrylic. Eyes are a cat's eye green plastic. The mottled gray little golem like face stares into your soul from underneath the fur brow."
One of a kind, handmade.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
Handmade by Satan.
It's got
Are you trying to corrupt your house?
Look at the little clogs it's got. I'm gonna put it in the
terrifying.
trailer. I'm not bringing it in the house.
It's like the Annabelle doll.
I'm gonna have
You're gonna put it in
it.
a case. You're gonna come back to the trailer. It's gonna be sitting on your desk.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude.
That's
Look at that
terrifying.
fucking terrifying thing. $105 they wanted for it at first. Insane. But
That's fucking
You got
crazy.
to start high. See what happens.
yeah, we'll see.
So we went through this like special week of training this week. They call it Fireground Survival, and the whole concept is like you're in a scenario where obviously you're in the interior, you're fighting fire, most likely in a structure, and there's some type of event like roof collapse, you fall through the floor for whatever reason, you lose your team, right? And you're by yourself, and it's like this is how you survive. So like each day we got like they bring in this different thing. Like first day was how to breach a wall and escape through the studs and stuff like that. So they showed you techniques on how to break the wall, get skinny, get between the studs. And then they brought like, you know, the smaller holes where you had to like completely take off your pack and like fit through it, all blacked out. And then the next one was like the next day they did this like wire entanglement training where you'd go through that tiny little hole, but it was full of fucking wires and shit like that. So you had to like shrimp through and like untangle yourself from fucking wires, like super like claustrophobic. And then they black you out and you got to do it. You know, blacked out takes you like fucking half an hour to get like 5 feet. It's a nightmare. And then the next day they taught us how to like bail out of windows of like 3-4 stories, and you have this like hook thing where you hook the wall and you basically like jump out and rappel down the side of the house, which was pretty rad.
Sweet.
So anyways, they're teaching us all this stuff. And then on Friday, like usually you know your schedule, right? They'll tell you like every day we're doing this, this, and this, but this whole time there's like a blank day for Friday and they don't tell you what's going on Friday. So they show up and everybody's sitting in the classroom and the guy comes in. He's like, "All right, you guys got fucking 10 minutes. Go grab your gear. Be outside." So everybody's like running, grabbing all your gear.
It's barbecue day, boys.
Yeah. So a bus comes and picks us up and they take us to this fucking house that's like, looks like ye old post office, 3-story house, pretty decrepit. Looks like a crack shack. And the guy's like, "Okay, like, gets a deck of cards, everybody pick a card." So everybody picks a card and you get your number, and that's like your whatever you're going in. So the point it gets with this is they give you an assignment, and everybody went in on the 3rd floor and they call it it's called a VEIS. It's Event, Enter, Isolate, Search. So you go in, break the window, go in, and you're supposed to search the room and leave. So you throw up your ladder, you climb in, you get in the room, and as soon as you get in the room, there's a fucking guy standing in there, and he's like, you've just been involved in a roof collapse. He's like, find your hose line, and he like blacks out your face mask. And you're in this fucking house you've never been in, and so you have to, part of this, like the what you do, like it's called grab life. It's get low right away. So you hit the floor, and you start searching around as you're blacked out to find your hose line. And it's literally this like giant obstacle course where you're completely fucking blacked out, and they set up all these fucking crazy entrapments and shit. And like, you're like, it was insane and stressful and everything, but it was so much fucking, like, I got paid. It was so fucking cool. But long story short, like, I'm going through this thing, and part of the acronym is like stay low, right? Because obviously, like, heat rises, the toxic gases are high.
Yeah, I know.
Usually
stay low till the whistle blow.
Yeah, so you stay low. So I'm going, and I get to what is obviously a staircase, right? And there's like a fucking hose line. And right, like, this is my first time ever doing anything like this. They've taught me lots, but they don't teach you like everything, because I think they assume that you know a little bit, which I don't. So I get to the staircase, and I'm like, well, fuck it, I gotta stay low. So I fucking send it down the staircase head first. Just fucking like arm out in front of me, like
Little
just
kid
fucking
style.
Yeah. And so then we get out, and I got a really good time and everything. But they're like, all right, you guys all did really good. And then they make us sit in the classroom. They're like, yeah, but you guys got to see this.
And they watch you
fire up a video, and they watch you just fucking sending her down the stairs right into the fucking wall. Boom! Fucking roll out and then roll down the second set of stairs. It was pretty funny. Yeah, it was good.
You got a week left.
Yeah, this is the last week.
Basic training complete.
Yeah, now we go up to Big White. I guess they got like a big burn building up there. They're going to light it on fire, and we're going to work on putting it out and do some cool shit like that.
When do you learn how to use the slow cooker? Make a good old braised pulled pork.
But dude, I fucking start on the 27th.
Like, that's your first, like,
my
rotation?
first shift. Yeah. So, and you can't record on the 27th. We'll have to pull an audible on that one.
That's
next week.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know. They're just like, they basically just gave us our assignments. They're like, yeah. So,
all right. So are you going to the mission then?
No, I'm starting at Station 1 on Enterprise.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah, I know. Fuck.
The main one.
There's a Denny's right there. How often do the boys hit up Denny's?
And they don't leave. It's all in-house eating, all in-house everything.
They have in-house cook?
No, well, me. The fucking probies are the cooks. They have a commercial grade kitchen, which is pretty cool though.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's fucking
bacon. You make some banana bread for the boys.
Yeah, I mean, Jess has been baking up a storm. But yeah,
you got to make me something good for the boys.
Oh yeah, no, I've got my mother-in-law on it too. Like,
that's not going to last long though.
No, fuck.
You're going to get a few bakes, and they're like, fuck you, do it yourself.
Yeah, fuck this.
That's where he started.
You'd be going to Costco and just buying packs of muffins.
But it was cool. So we've had to bring in stuff all the time. And then for the last week, one of the guys was like, if you beat my score on the fucking house, you don't have to bring in baking. So we're like, okay, fuck yeah, we beat them. So
they make you bring in bacon. That's so funny.
Oh, dude, you should, dude, have I read through you my fucking little list I made of stuff I have to do for my first shift?
No.
It's fucking insane. Like, so not only like the biggest thing, like, let's say like I make a meal for everyone. I'm the last person to sit down and eat, but I have to be the first one done so I can get up and like clean everybody's fucking plates and shit. So, and what the guys will do just to sewer you is they'll eat as fast as they can to try and fucking beat you. So you'll sit down and have like 3 bites of your food. They're done. And then you got to be like, oh, okay, I'm done, I guess. And like throw away your food and just clean up everything else. Like, it's just one giant fucking sewer game.
Listen, everyone knows when you're cooking. If you're cooking wrong, if you haven't eaten a full course while you're cooking, sampling everything. So I do all the time. You're cooking, you're like, ooh, better try this sauce. Good. Better grab some of this chicken. Delicious. You eat before you serve. See, that's
Yeah, I mean that's probably what I'll end up having to do, but I don't do. It's just so ridiculous. Like the rules are insane.
Hey, just think. Just
But you just
remember
gotta
when
play
this
the
happened.
game.
You made it.
Yeah, no shit.
You're living the dream now.
Yeah,
You're a firefighter.
yeah,
Fucking queer.
Firefighter.
pretty much.
Firefighters are fucking queers.
Join the fraternity. They ain't no going back.
No, man, it's fucking. It's just starting.
That's your family now. All your functions for the rest of your life. Firefighters.
Yeah. They show up.
Yeah.
Maybe driving the car home for the kids.
Oh,
Look at the
dude.
truck.
That's the biggest thing. It's like for people who like, yeah, I'll show up at work, but like to keep their work life separate from their real life. Like, I don't think that's an option anymore.
Nope.
No.
Like
I'm
they
one of those
instantly
people.
start recruiting you for like your recreational time. It's like, no. Like, what are you going to join? What are you going to do? Are you going to do?
Join the hockey team? What do you want to join? What do you want
Well, they've tried. They're already like, well, we'll have to teach you how to skate. And I'm like, I'm just not interested.
I would love to
Okay,
watch you
well, do you
skate.
want to do? Do you want to do jujitsu? Do you want to do CrossFit? Do you want to like? It's like fucking. No, I want to like go home and see my family. Like, is that an
I want
option?
to go home, see my
Or-
family, and podcast, which the podcast you can't tell them
Yeah.
about, though.
Yeah,
They're gonna
no,
find it.
God no.
They're going to find it.
Maybe eventually, but not like. God, wait till I'm at least a year or two in. I hope.
Think of all the
They'll
cool
find it.
nicknames you're going to get.
Oh man.
You're gonna,
Anything's better than
your first shift,
Bumfield.
one of your buddies, one of the other firefighters is going to lean in and be like, keep those eyes on the skies, Andrew.
Oh fuck.
I'd be like, that's
He's known the whole
that's
time. He's
Braden's
just been
thing.
waiting. He's been waiting.
No. That would crush me.
Or he'll lean in and go,
I would. Be
you know
dead.
what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I remember the
Yes.
early episodes, Andrew. I remember.
I'd be dead. I'd be Seward. It'd be it for me.
It's funny.
But I don't know. So you need to Zell, you got to teach me how to skate, or I got to start doing CrossFit,
Hey,
which I don't want to do.
I could run you through a skating power session.
That'd be sick.
Teach you to keep those heels down.
Should we?
But I'd
Don't
probably
run on
like.
the
There's
ice.
there's no way I'd get halfway decent at hockey, anyways. Though I'd be just so trash, being
You'd be so bad. You'd be so bad.
so bad.
Should we-
Skating's 80% of the game. And if you can't skate,
Yeah.
you're just fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't skate by on your athleticism with hockey.
Maybe that's the
Yeah,
problem.
you can't just jump on the floor and you're a really good runner already and you kind of fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You jump on the ice and you try and run and you just fall down and you get up, you fall down. Someone hits you, you fall down.
That sounds right.
You run onto
Sounds
the
right
ice
what
with your
happened.
skate guards on. You fly all over the place.
We should talk about Spreakergate because I don't even think Andrew knows.
Speaker gate.
Yeah. You know how we were with Spreaker?
Yeah, and then Zell wanted out, and then yeah, with the contract and all that.
Well, it's
and then,
kind of weird because like Zell demonetized our shows on their platform as a fuck you to them because they were holding us hostage. And then
Yeah.
the second Zell demonetized our shows, our downloads went through the roof.
But only for
What?
like 4 days. Now
yeah,
they're back
but
to
still,
normal.
yeah.
yeah, because they probably realized like, oh, we got to fuck these guys over again.
Well, no, they were like we
I
were wondering
I
if they
demonetized and
suppressing
then I
show.
demonetized and then all of a sudden our downloads went back to like kind of pre-Spreaker downloads.
So
Instantly, almost instantly. Like the,
so are they trying to like cut our numbers so they don't have to pay us? Is that what
yeah.
it would be?
I mean,
That's
that
what we
was
think. That's the leading theory.
and
How do we get out of this
well,
deal with
No,
No,
I
them?
did.
we're done.
So I had a meeting and I was pretty angry during the meeting.
Yeah,
And they
good.
they released us. I said, you can't. I told them it was like a half an hour thing of me just be like, all right, well here I'm gonna pull it because they were trying to keep our feed for 90 days. So I sent them a strongly worded email saying all these reasons why they have to release our feed, and I would like to
Yeah.
go through it in great detail with them each point.
Yeah,
And I
good.
did that 10 points in a row because they have like a Speaker Prime like onboarding sheet, and I went through it and I told them this. Well, you didn't do this, and you didn't do this, and 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 this.
Yeah,
And they pretty much
good.
just smiled and nodded and said sorry. It's like, yeah, we're going through a merger, blah blah blah.
Whatever.
And then they said,
Not our
yeah, we can
problem.
release your feed. So I forgot to ask them about the downloads really because I had told them everything. Then I
We
sent it.
emailed them and then they ghosted.
So then after they had released our feed, and I was like, and just one more thing, I was just kind of curious, like we're kind of missing like 100,000 downloads between Spotify's 60-second download count because there's difference. There's like a There's a play, which is like 0 seconds to 60 seconds. If you're under 60, it counts as a play, but not a stream, not a download. So you don't really get paid for it. But then there's 60-second stream or a download, which is what you get paid on. And Spotify has both of those numbers. And the numbers from Spotify didn't match Spreaker's numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like Spotify's numbers, like whatever, 50,000, say, not a real number, but and then Spreaker's 30,000, so 20,000 difference.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Every month that we were there, until demonetized, then the numbers switch back to the same.
Greasy bastards.
Then I emailed like, I'm just curious about these like download discrepancies. And then I followed up again and ghost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're like, they're not on our team anymore. See you later. We're not answering any more questions.
So now I kind of feel like forwarding that to some type of podcast press. I'm just curious.
Yeah, see if anybody else has had similar experiences.
I know I have
class action lawsuit.
Well, it happened to Theo Vaughn. I can't remember. I have to look at the story. I can't remember that. It's not Spreaker. It's a different company, but they were shorting him. Like Theo Vaughn's huge to get millions of downloads a month.
Oh yeah,
he's making tens of thousands of dollars a month just on programmatic ads.
Yeah, and they're skimming
But
off the top.
they were skimming like 20-30% a month. And after like a year, he caught on. He's like, these motherfuckers owe me $1 million.
Holy shit.
And
but I mean, you're doing that across your board on all of the shows that you
potentially
host. That's big money that you're saving.
Or I thought maybe because there is different stat counting software, and they all work a little bit different. So if it was something as easy as, oh, we use this software and it analyzes Spotify's downloads and we can actually only charge you for this, and there was an explanation behind it, I'd be like, okay, well, I could at least look at what you said. But because there's no explanation, now the theories run wild.
Yeah.
It could be anything. They could have been short. I mean, if you took 100,000 down, let's say it's 100,000 downloads, they owe us $100 technically. Like,
Well, we're coming for it.
We're coming for that money, baby.
You're not gonna rip us off. It's pretty.
Even if it was like, it might be 1,000. I have no idea. So anyways, that's over. We're back with Red Circle. Back to Old Faithful.
Yeah.
It is a better it's a better hosting like website. It's way easier to use.
Way easier to use.
Like it's very straightforward.
The thing that drove me crazy with Spreaker is you can't do ad placements for like 10 hours after you upload a fucking show.
I do it right away.
You can do it right away on Red Circle.
I did it right away in Spreaker.
I couldn't do it. It would always say like come back later when it's done uploading or whatever.
Oh yeah, but the processing takes like a minute.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, I'm hardwired now. Fucking had to crawl into the crawl space. It was like
Spiders.
Honestly, I'm not scared of spiders anymore because going under there, it was like fucking.
You're in Mirkwood or what?
Oh yeah, dude, it was brutal. It was brutal, like literally like movie style, like pulling like curtains of webs away.
Oh Jesus,
it was brutal.
That's so gross.
Just had to fucking man up, hey?
Yeah, I had to. I was like, well, I can't keep running the show off fucking extended Wi-Fi. It's brutal. So I had to do that. So it's fucking brutal under there. And then I had Scotty helping me. Of course, I'm like, feed the wire through. He's like, what? I'm like, feed the fucking wire. What? Fucking yelling at him.
He's sitting up there having a snack.
Yeah, he's just drinking beer. Listen to this. What this motherfucker does.
Uh-oh.
He comes over. Whenever he comes over, I always have a couple beers or coolers or nudes in the fridge. He honestly drinks 4 to 1. If I have one, he has 4. It's insane. Just
of yours.
Of mine. Slugs them back. Okay. So the other day he comes over, he's just crushing her. Me and Jamie bought Twisted Teas for ourselves because it's nice out. He comes over, he crushes 6 in like a 20-minute visit. Crushes like 6 Twisted Teas. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, we'll come back over for
20,
the game.
Sorry, whoa. You said 20 minutes?
20 minutes, dude.
He crushes 6 fucking drinks in 20 minutes.
Yeah. He's like, oh, they just go down so quick.
That's a problem, buddy.
And I'm like, dude. So I tell him, I say, he's coming back over for the Canucks game. I was like, bring some drinks. You have to bring drinks. So he buys, good on him. He comes over and he brings the Phillips sampler pack, 12-pack, right, with all the samplers. Proceeds to drink all the Twisted Teas. Doesn't drink any of the beer he brought. Crushes. I was like, why didn't you bring Twisted Teas? If that's what you wanted to drink, why didn't you buy Twisted Teas? So I got all these beers at my house I didn't drink because I wanted to drink some Twisted Teas. Motherfucker crushed them all. Unbelievable.
It's fucking. Oh, I guess hilarious.
It's 4-1. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Whatever happened? Remember that fence building project you guys were going to do or something?
You guys are gonna get rich. You guys beat the system.
Remember he put the quote in without telling you and all this other stuff?
I just don't do anything with him. He's running a side business doing it. I just don't help him.
Oh, he is doing the fences.
Yeah, he's doing fences. He's doing repaints and stuff. And I'm like, man.
Is he still doing like the steel buildings out of town?
No, he works for eventually it's gonna become a problem because he's working for a company and then he's bidding on the projects.
Also, as a side job?
He has a side job and they're giving it. They're basically being like, if you bid at this price, we'll give it to you. And I'm like, that's going to become a problem at some point where they're going to be like, we can't do
grounds
this
for
anymore.
firing.
Well, they're like his work is the one like, so it's, I don't know. It's they're
Very Mr. Conspiracy way.
Yeah, they're working in hand on. So I'm like, whatever. All right. But yeah, I'm not. The second he started, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll pay you $12 an hour." I was like, "No, you gotta be out of your."
So funny.
You got to be out of your goddamn mind. That's not even
so
minimum
fucking
wage.
funny.
I'm not doing half the work.
You would have ended up doing probably more than.
Oh
enough.
yeah. So I was like, "Nope,
Yeah.
I'm out. See you later."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild one. So yeah, zero help running the wires through.
Just watching
And then
you
he was,
struggle.
Well, then
Roman's almost big enough to help you.
almost not quite.
Kid will be punching holes with his hands.
He's too
You don't even need to
gentle, man. He's too nice. Like other kids bully him, he just goes in for hugs, and like all these other babies,
Kids
like
bully him?
they pull
Where
his
are you taking him?
hair.
He's one.
Yeah,
Why is he getting
just his
bullied?
little friends, like his little 1-year-old friends that come around. Like everyone, he's so gentle. He goes in for hugs, and he's so nice, and he's so gentle. And then these other kids are just like, "Wah!" And then he gets upset and cries.
So you're making your kid soft.
No, he's a gentle
He's a
little
gentle
kid.
boy.
He goes and
He's
he
a gentle
pets
boy.
the cats like this. Gentle,
That's nice.
gentle. But you know what it is? All these other people, I figured out what it is. All these other people, they all have big dogs, and the babies just fuck the big dog, like just grabbing it, and like you can do whatever you want to a big dog. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt it. Whereas like Roman only has like little cats and like a little dog, and the cats, when Roman got to the stage where he was like hitting, the cats fucked him up.
You won't listen. It might be that too, but they probably have siblings too.
No, none of them do.
Like my kid doesn't even cry anymore.
Yeah, none of them
Like,
have
if you
siblings. They're all-
heard him, he doesn't cry. He just sits there and goes,
Yeah.
just internalizes it, puts it in the bank for when he's older and bigger than Niall. He's like, all right, bitch,
Yeah.
I'm coming for you.
Doing baby curls.
Is Roman fucking saying anything yet?
Ducky.
Ducky.
It's so fucking cute.
Yeah, but he only says it for Jamie, and if he's looking at the ducks in the book,
Yeah.
and then Jamie about what are these, and he goes Ducky,
Oh, that's cute.
and then you're like say Ducky, and he just like the second you say do anything, he can blow a kiss, but you cannot get him to blow a kiss. He'll sit there and go like, just stonewalls you, no expression. And then like
Yeah,
he'll see
they're
a
weird.
girl, and the girl will
get
be like,
shy
"Oh,
weird.
hi Roman, how are you?" And he's like,
Yeah.
and you're like, "What the fuck?"
It's
All of a
funny.
sudden, you're blowing kisses now. He doesn't do anything if you ask him
On
to do
command.
it. Yeah, you're like wave
Yeah,
goodbye.
Bowen's like that too.
He just stares.
Yeah, that's funny.
You're like, can
Fucking
you
kids,
say?
man.
The only thing he'll do on command now is if you go, and then you go, your turn. He'll go,
Fine.
and then he just straight faces you.
He's just sick of your shit.
That's it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Dude, your little guy's getting big, Zell. Like a monster.
He's
He's
huge.
a monster.
Yeah.
Well, compared to
fucking
Nova, he's a
huge.
monster.
Yeah.
He's probably as big as Nova was when she was 9 months old.
It's crazy.
Like all the clothes we kept, like a lot of like the unisex kind of clothes from Nova, they don't fit.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
He's not like a fat chubby baby. He's just extremely long.
He's a big boy.
Little meat torpedo.
Well, Steph's pretty tall, isn't she? How tall is
That's
Steph?
all. Yeah, she's 5'9".
Yeah. Yeah, kid might be a fucking unit, man.
He might crack the 6 foot mark. I didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll fuck. If you're just about 6 foot and Steph's 5'9", he'll be a big boy.
I think
Crackers.
Roman's gonna crack it. He's already in 2-year-old shoes. His feet. He's got huge
crazy.
feet. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Jax is in the Jolly Jumper now. Loves it.
Oh yeah.
That's the best.
Just fucking flying around, like to the point I'm like, I like hold his neck. Still only he's strong on the neck, but he's just launching around this fucking thing.
That's awesome.
Cutting his toes though. I gotta put shoes on when he jumps. Because he curls.
He's cutting his toes.
Well, he curls his toes because he doesn't really know.
Oh,
It just rubs raw.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I gotta put some shoes
He'll
on.
learn. He'll
It's
figure
like
it out.
we've only done it for like 4 days. He's just really getting
Nice.
it now.
That's fucking cool.
Just loves it.
That's fucking cool.
Kids. I'm over the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
of it though. Like the worst. I think the worst it will have ever been.
Oh, we did sleep training this weekend too, just to stack up, because we're like long weekend. We got to do the sleep training again. Wait,
Well, he's
I
not
was
been
like-
sleeping through the night.
no, he's been sleeping in our bed ever since Mexico.
Oh,
Right? Terrible. It's been brutal. So he wakes up and it just has a fucking come apart at like 10:30 till you bring him into the bed, like just flailing, screaming, and he does it so late that you're like, "Fuck, I'm so
Give
tired
in.
already."
Yeah.
And you just give in to get some sleep, but then you don't sleep really good because he's fucking needling you with his little toes in the ribs and like smacking you and letting furts out and bonking his
That's
head,
funny.
and you're like, "Oh god."
That's what Niles, the one that's in our bed.
Two
now all the
nights.
time.
2 nights broke him. First night, cried for an hour every time we put him in his crib until he fell asleep. And then like last night was night 3. He fell asleep within a minute of putting him in the crib.
Nice.
And you're like, that's right.
yeah, that's right.
So
Thank
so
God.
nice. Just instantly went to bed. We both just like slept, and he slept till 7. It was great. Thank God. I was dying.
Oh yeah, it was the worst winter of all time.
It's honestly, when you start to compound that like no sleep, and it was like a busy month, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking
Dude,
I'm gonna lose
compounding
my
no
mind.
sleep. The fact that when Jax came, Nova regressed terribly. So a huge life change. It's expected with the second kid. She'd wake up 2-3 times a night, screaming. Opposite of Jax's normal wake ups to feed. So it's always awake all night, every
Oh,
night, for
brutal.
months and months. Now she sleeps. She's back to like 6 of the 7 nights she sleeps through the night. But it was like fucking 3 months of just hell, like no
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal.
Jax is way better. He actually sleeps through the night most of the time. 5 months old.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I woke up today, rested. Like, oh, feel great. Woke up 6 o'clock. That's it though. Nova's the early riser. 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Oh yeah, Roman's like 6:18 normally, but today was pretty
She's
good.
actually my alarm clock. She opens the door. Daddy? Yeah, getting up. Like same time, exact same time every day. She knows. Internal clock.
All right, well let's wrap this one up. I got to get prepped for game day and get my nerve.
I'm going to the store, get a little tailgate.
Yeah, I got to eat some food early because I can't eat getting closer to
It's
game.
a
I
6
get too
o'clock
nervous.
start, I think, though.
I know it's fucking
I hate
bullshit.
that. 7
Yeah.
o'clock. Come on.
Fucking
Better
bullshit.
for me. 7 o'clock's been perfect because I push record, put the kids to bed, then I come and watch the first period. I can skip all that commercials and the first intermission, and I'm caught up by midway through the second.
Oh, dude, I
Except
wanted to text you.
It sucked last game because by the time I caught up, I was like, oh my god, what a waste.
I wanted to text you and be like, "Hey, maybe just fucking
Just skip
don't,
this one."
Don't worry about
Yeah.
catching up. Mulligan this one. Let's wait for game 7.
Yeah, it
It's
sucks.
bad.
Big games
So-
will be fun.
Yeah.
It's once in a
Cool.
decade. Once in a decade game feels like.
No, it is. It's
Yeah.
the first one in a decade. Bubble doesn't count.
Bubble doesn't count. No, they didn't even make the playoffs last year. They had to win the bubble round.
All
That was
right.
fun. All right.
Everyone, we'll see you next week. Things will slowly be getting back to normal now as we come out of the fucking hellish first quarter
dark ages.
of 2024 and emerge on the other side. And we won't let Andrew pick any more flowers. Peace, everybody.